You know what? I've got a topic I want to talk about. It's not the one that's listed up there, but it is one that I am reminded of right now, and I'm just gonna rant about it for a little bit, and y'all are gonna listen. And if you want to click off the video when it goes up on YouTube, that's entirely up to you. But I just have to say, guys, I hate subscription models. I really do. I cannot stand them. I was reminded of it because back when I was on Sunset City, there was a game that came out that I needed to have a subscription to play, and I needed to be able to play it in order to hop on Sunset City and talk about it. And it was Sonic Dream Team. And I'm not going to harp on the quality of Sonic Dream Team. I think that the game is actually very well made. Buddy, I don't have time to deal with you right now. Ain't no way you're going to kill me with a shotgun from that far away. Not happening. But, so I got the game, and by get the game, I mean I have a subscription to Apple Play, the iPhone gaming service, which apparently has to exist now. And what is Sonic Dream Team? It is a Sonic video game. Anyway, so I have that subscription. That's like $6.99 a month, and the defense for subscription models for stuff, especially for games, is always, but it's so cheap. And I'm like, but you could just cancel it when you're done. And like, yeah, I could if I remember. But dear God, there's enough people in America who don't remember basic shit. Like me, I don't remember basic shit. It's me. 100%. I am the person who doesn't remember basic shit. I would love to play a game that I can buy and then own. I'm not even going to talk about the fact that the game was locked onto a subscription service, and that's like a huge problem for me. And everybody's like, well, the games used to all be exclusives to consoles anyway, and that was just acceptable. Like, I don't care. I still don't want to be forced to... shite! To subscribe to a mobile service to play a game. But the fact that we live in such a oddly monetized and marketed society. Okay, we're lowering the volume on that. That is way too much. Dear God. Why is specifically the sound effect volume as high as it is? Let's not. Anyway, the fact that we live in such a highly marketed and monetized society means that not only do you have subscription services that you have to remember to cut off repeatedly. Do you want Photoshop? You can't buy it. Buy a subscription to it. Do you want Clip Studio Paint? That's now a subscription service. Do you want any software that you need for a variety of graphic design jobs? Nope. Make them all subscription services. Then, you want video games? Now, let's make those subscription services too. Let's give you Game Pass. We're going to call it the best deal in gaming, and everybody will love it forever. And then they'll realize that by the end of 5 years, they've spent literally over $600 on this service. And then you add in this Apple service on there in order to play stuff like Sonic Dream Team. Now we've got so much money that is disappearing out of people's bank accounts as just repeatable things like this, as recurring stuff. Everything gets turned into a service instead of something that we get to own, and for no reason other than it makes more money. And shouldn't that be okay? It makes more money. It's less money up front for you to buy the thing. And that argument may hold some kind of weight in a world where everything isn't some kind of monthly subscription. Like, even your car is that now. Like, it is 100% that. You have a monthly service for your car and your insurance and everything else. You have a monthly that you have to pay for your house and all of that. You have a monthly you have to pay for all of your normal bills. Now you have a monthly for your games. Now you have a monthly for your hobbies. Now you have a monthly for everything. And they're trying to add, like, yeah, no, there are some cars that are, some car manufacturer companies are trying to have things like heated seats as a subscription service. Oh, and then if you want OnStar, that's a subscription service as well. Like, isn't it wonderful for everything everything gets to be a subscription service. Now it's not, oh, but it's so cheap, it's $6.99 a month. Yeah, but there's 1,200 there's 1,200 different versions of this subscription model. And when so many things are converting over to it, now you have to start pick and choosing the things that you enjoy. Remember when we all got super happy that Netflix was becoming so ubiquitous in the streaming service category for media that it meant that we didn't have to go to like janky websites to find old movies. We didn't have to engage in as much piracy. Also, Nixie, thank you for the gifted sub. We didn't have to engage in as much of that shady bullshit. We got to just enjoy media. And then over time it became, well, what if Disney had a subscription service? What if Paramount had a subscription service? What if Hulu had one? What if Amazon had literally 5? What if everything that you love got locked behind a subscription service? Now suddenly piracy is looking a whole lot more reasonable. Also, Damasamura, thank you very much for resubscribing. So wasn't Hulu always one? No, what I mean is, like, Hulu hops onto the scene as one. And now, oh, do you want to watch the new Avatar series? I'm not saying you should, but sure, go ahead. That's going to be a Netflix subscription. Oh, do you want to watch Star Wars? Well, that's going to actually be a Disney subscription. Oh, what's that? You grew up with the Animaniacs and you want to see the new Animaniacs series? Well, that's going to be a Hulu subscription. Like, everything gets to be some flavor of subscription, and if you don't like that, that is just unfortunate, because that is everything now. From top to bottom, everything gets to be that subservice. Which is fantastic for, you know, everybody in the entire world. He said, piracy goes down when things are convenient. Yeah, Gabe Newell was famous for talking about that, and it was largely true. But now, your 15,000 mismanaged subscriptions get to be just in the back of your mind. You end up forgetting about half of them, and then you end up not using most of them. And don't get me wrong, that's not a bug. That is 100% a feature of these systems. One of the biggest benefits to these systems is that people will pay for them without using them. Meaning that there is less bandwidth that has to be used on the end of the people who are hosting it, and the people who are hosting any of those subscription services want you to forget that you bought them. Like, let's say you go, oh, I want to watch the new Animaniacs. So you get your subscription, and then you finish watching the show, and you forget to turn the subscription off. Now you have to, you know, renew or not, but you forgot, so whether you wanted to renew or not is irrelevant to the conversation now. Because now all that's happened is you've paid for more months that you aren't using, and then multiple places get to do this lovely thing where they make unsubscribing a super difficult process, or the sneaky one where they put discounting their subscription as something that for you to get, you have to actually try to unsubscribe from their subscription. Like, I think I would be less upset about subscription services if subscription services were not built specifically to prey upon you forgetting things. And with us having a society that is so built from the ground up to distract you, it is a full breads and circuses society. This means that it is very likely, in fact, it is guaranteed, that you may even be thinking, oh, I'm going to take care of this one thing. Oh, look, there's a TikTok. Okay, I'm going to go take care of the subscription service. It did its thing again, but I got to go get the groceries real quick, so I'll put that on the back burner because it's like a 15-step process to unsubscribe. And now, instead of unsubscribing, I'm going to go to the store, take care of groceries, and this is going to be the thing I do when I get home. When I've got food in me, when I've relaxed, and by the time you get home, you've already done 15 other things because, of course, everything is built to distract you. And you don't get to do the things you needed to do, like unsubscribing. Like right now, I should be unsubscribing from Apple because this is the 3rd month in a row that I have forgotten about that subscription. But I'm in the middle of a stream, so going and doing that personal information stuff is not a great idea. Just pausing my stream real quick so I can go through their multi-step bartering process over whether or not I'm allowed to keep my $7 every month. At least for places like Twitch, you have the ability to, like Agamotto said, unsubscribing directly after subscribing. Like, you can subscribe for a month and then turn it off right afterwards so that the creator gets the money and you've paid your creator and you're happy with your stuff. And it's so frustrating. Like, I'm happy about some monthly service stuff because I need it to live. Like, I need Patreon to live. I need Twitch subs to live. Like, these are the things that are required as a content creator to survive. But I wish that we didn't live in a world where everything was this, right? Said it should be illegal for unsubscribing to be any amount of more difficult than subscribing. Yeah, it should be. If you want to cancel a subscription from Apple, tap your name, tap subscriptions. Oh, okay. So I have to do this from... I can't just do this from the Apple website, apparently. I have to do this from the iPhone that I'm using for VTuber tracking. Okay. God, it's wonderful. It's absolutely fantastic that we live in such a heavily monetized society that this is the norm. And everybody just... The worst part is, there's going to be people several years from now who are going to just accept this as the norm because this is all they'll ever know. There are people who legitimately will grow up not knowing what it's like to own commercial software. Because so much of it will be subscription-based, they'll just be like, that's how it's always been. Why would I need it to be anything else? Like, it's just always been like this. That's fine. I should be fine with this, right? I am trying so desperately to move. So, as an example of some of the bullshit here, I just tried very, very poorly, mind you, to stop my gameplay for just a moment, to unsubscribe from iTunes. And no, instead, what I had is having to get onto iTunes, because I can't do it from the website, apparently. And now, I had, 5 different pop-ups in iTunes because of how infrequently I opened the thing. It's here literally for my ARKit tracking when I use 3D models. That's it. So now, this program that has decided that there needed to be 1 billion pop-ups before I'm allowed to do anything doesn't even have the thing that I need to cancel my subscription on it as easily. It's just great. It's just great. And this is the norm. This is the norm for everything. Make it difficult to unsubscribe, make it super easy to subscribe, give a ton of incentives to do so, even make it to where the discounts for subscribing are not loyalty-based. They are not based on you being a subscriber for a long time and therefore you get a benefit. They are based on you threatening to leave. If you want to get Photoshop or Premiere for cheaper, then you get a subscription, then you threaten to cancel the subscription, and then they're like, oh, do you want 3 months at $20 instead of $55? And that's just the way things work now. That is just the over and under on how everything technology gets to work now. Every bit of media that you enjoy gets to be that. Every program that you need to work gets to be that. And you don't get to be at the negotiating table for any of this because guess what? You're not talking to anybody. You're not talking to anybody through any of these programs. No. Instead, you are dealing with an algorithm. Whether that algorithm is on a program or whether that is a, phone operating desk that is built to make it to where you never get to talk to a real person. Any of that shit. It's all there to make things inconvenient for you so that somebody else can profit off of the back of your suffering. Razor says, or you can use open source software. No, the fuck you can't. And I'll explain why. Because if you are trying to get into a professional industry, then the standards of that industry will almost always dictate that you have to use the software that is expected of that industry. So for the movie industry, that would be Premiere Pro. You need to use Premiere Pro. And if you are working with other content creators on, say, a collaborative project, and you want to use some of the really cool group ability of some of these softwares, then instead, you go, hey, I want to do this thing with you. We'll be able to group edit this together. And then they go, oh, well, that's fine. I'm using Premiere Pro. And you go, well, I'm using DaVinci Resolve. Well, now suddenly your shit is not compatible with one another. Razor says, my industry doesn't use paid programs. That's very wonderful. And I'm happy that you were privileged enough to work in an industry where that is the case. Oftentimes, people are not. Oftentimes, that is not the case. And not only is this state of affairs expected now, but like I said, eventually we're going to hit the point where people simply don't know any better. Raspberry Dad says the animation industry is notorious for requiring expensive paid subscription programs like Adobe and Toon Boom. Yeah, as if it wasn't already hard enough for artists who are trying to do this as their job. As if it wasn't already hard enough for them dealing with all of the shit that comes from AI right now. Like, this industry was already tough. And it just gets worse. It just gets worse. So animation's a horror industry and it breaks my soul. And it shouldn't be, because it's an industry that is often led exclusively by passion. And that sounds like a good thing, but it ain't. That Adobe is the king of subscription-based price gouging, especially knowing uni college students almost all the time need it and it isn't paid for all the time. Yep, and then they get a discount on it for, the years that they're in university, and then at the end of that time, they suddenly have to pay even more when they're no longer a student. So it's like, oh yeah, no, you got your hit of the drug for 4 years, now you get to pay triple for it. I hope you're happy with that. Hope you're happy about that. It's just very frustrating. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Also, Kaiser VT, Kaizefel VT, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it so much. That is a lot of people to dump on me, and I am super thankful for that. I'm going to go get some pizza, and I'm hoping that all of you will be entertained for the couple seconds it's going to take me to do that. Example, we have spoken before, Suris, you critter. I understand that. My ability to remember anything is horrible. That's what half this topic has been about. Also, Mark Rides, thank you for the follow. And Kali Bubber VR, thank you for the follow as well. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below when this goes onto YouTube. But that just, I got the notification on my phone and was like, you know what? I'm pissed about this. I'm pissed about this, and we're just going to talk about it right now because it just... It's impossible for me to not be upset about anymore. Insert in a video tagline here. Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability a Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Red Joker, Britzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Nixie-chan, the Oberon team, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you, I'm not saying that part, and Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.